morning and welcome to the show. I'm David Starlyte. We are live. I wasn't able to stream it to all our usual channels. The Facebook wasn't working so well. So let's see how we go. Please do like and share the content if you appreciate it or you think someone else will appreciate it. And it's another week flying by is the time. And here we are back with you live and watching the comments. I'm just moving the screen around a little bit. And how is your week going? For me, it's been super busy, super busy. And so sorry, I wanted to do a few more lives and get a few ideas across. I've just been struggling to sleep, particularly Monday night, Sunday night, Monday night, struggling to sleep and just a little bit buzzing, too much going on, and needing to ground, rest, take a deep, relaxing breath, come back to earth. So all very good being up into the stars. Up in the stars, it's important also to be earthbound, to be helpful on the earth plane. In the 3D plane is important to be grounded. So let me know in the comments if you are where you are in the world. I'd love to hear from you. Let's just check that the comments are working. There we go. It wasn't on. I couldn't see it. It wasn't working. Marianne says, hello. It's not a super busy day, but lots of endings. What's ending, Marianne? You know, there's a lot of people, just maybe it just seems that way for me, but I've heard other psychics speaking about the new earth, speaking about people checking out, speaking about the hyperbaric intensity, the all that's going on in the world, the solar flares bringing on a lot of intense energies. And some people, they've done their life path, they've done their contract, and they are done. They're checking out. So people checking out, it just seems more than ever. I guess people are always checking out. Spencer says, do you have a husband? Is this related to the content? I think Spencer, you're kidding around. Marianne says, not people, but paperwork and approvals. Not people, but paperwork and approvals. So lots of endings. And Betsy says, hi from Troy. How are you, Betsy? Is it the same Betsy that I know? I think it's you, Betsy. How have you been? How's everything going? We'd love to hear from you. Feel free to email me as well. I'm just looking, is that Spencer from Melbourne? I don't recognize the picture, so it could just be someone new to the channel. And so Marianne, you lots of endings. Marianne says, Times Square had the Norwegian fans for this soccer tournament. Amazing. That's pretty cool. The Norwegian fans for the soccer tournament. Beautiful. So a lot going on with the soccer, with the football. Are you following the football? Is it exciting you? Are you getting into it at all? I know Americans are not familiar with soccer so much. They're not passionate about soccer. It's not. But your team has started well. It's doing well, and it's pretty exciting. Betsy, welcome to the show. Great to see you. I was thinking about you, and I hope everything's going well. Jen says, hi, Jen. Well, great to see you. I haven't actually seen you in person, Jen. Jen is a wonderful woman who lives close by. She lives here in Queensland, Australia. Beautiful woman, lovely woman, always such good energy, with always a smile on her face. Such good energy. Marianne says they did the big row on the subway. Not a fan of the sport, but I'm seeing fans behaving well. That's good to hear. That's unusual for fans, I reckon. Or is that a bit harsh? Fans behaving well. Good news. Also it's the tournament's still quite fresh. There's 48 teams. It seems incredible. 48 countries represented. It's the biggest tournament in the world. It's the biggest event in the world. So I don't know if everyone even knows how big it is. And maybe soccer is going to become a sensation in the US of A. I reckon it's only going to get bigger. It's the people's sport. And wherever I travel in the world, I see people kicking the ball around in the backyard, kicking it in the streets. It's something that you can play in the streets. You don't need any facilities. You don't need any gadgets. You don't need any. You don't need any machines. It's very low. How could I say that? You don't need very much. Betsy says, things are going better. I don't have a new job, but I have a better attitude towards it. Have you done your astrology? Maybe send me your astrology, because I feel like I was ChatGPT was doing my astrology yesterday, and well, it was very accurate. So a lot of these things, I was surprised, because I've had a lot of Vedic astrology. I think ChatGPT was maybe, I don't know if it was doing Western astrology, but whatever it was doing was actually pretty accurate. Its interpretation. So I know a lot of people don't trust the AI, but just amazing that AI is doing it. Matt says bald, and Matt says spit shine that cue ball head. And let's have a look. So how are you, Jen? How is it going? And Marianne says, not a fan of the sport. They did the big row on the subway. So just going through the comments, there's some new people on the show. Always good to see the new people around. And we are going to pick a card from the Starseed Oracle. Chinese astrology. I'm just trying to think if they have the year of the horse at the moment. I think I don't know that that's really is that Chinese astrology. I think it's more like I don't know, Marianne. I am the year of the dragon. But it's a whole, yeah, I'm a dragon, and maybe that is their astrology. I'm a dragon, Marianne. I'm definitely a dragon. What about you? Do you believe in Chinese astrology? Does it resonate? Does it mean something? Firth says, I love 67. I love 67. I don't know what that means, but you got me curious. 67. I can't think of anything that would apply to, but maybe it's to do with your astrology. Hi, Kim. Welcome to the show. How are you today? How's everything going? Are you working? And Betsy says, oh, yeah, ChatGPT is also great at interpreting tarot cards. I also feel better about the future because I have a plan to move my business forward. That's really great to hear, Betsy. Really encouraged, and interesting that you are au fait. You're familiar with ChatGPT in terms of interpreting astrology, numerology. I find it pretty good, pretty accurate, and quite interesting about tarot cards. That's really wonderful. Yeah. So, because somebody, I have a new social media. I forget what it's called, connected to Instagram, and I find it so easy because you can just post anything like that. And I've been posting things because I sort of got over the other social media. I got over the other social media apps. Yes, it is. I'm a dragon too, a wood dragon. Yes, I behave like one. And I think we have someone who is watching with their underwear. That is totally up to you, mate. What you do in the privacy of your own home is your business. I am not here to judge or tell you what clothes to wear or not wear. It's totally up to you what you do. I think there's some moments in life that we have freedom, and I always believe that people should have freedom where it doesn't harm other people. Should have autonomy as long as it doesn't harm other people. And certain things like walking around in your house, it's totally free for you. Interesting about Marianne Wood dragon. Yes, I behave like one. Well, I love the dragon. And Jackie Chan says, off it is. That's good to hear. So Jackie Chan is free, is liberated, and what does it mean to be liberated? Because we have so many indoctrinations, so many fears, so many things we cringe about, we're embarrassed about. So what does it mean to be free, to be absolutely the pure essence of the divine, to realize ourselves as creators, as having this perfect light within, this internal soul essence, which we all carry with us. We may be blinded to it, we may be blocked, we may suppress it, we may reject it, we may push it away, deny it, but we have the light of God, the light of the one force within us, the one source, one force, one force, one source, one source, one force. You know what I mean? The oneness, the union, the divine, it's all there. It's all within us. We have this eternal essence of consciousness, whatever you think about it. In the Buddhist philosophy, the Buddhist terminology, it's seen as a consciousness of light, not as a soul essence. So the soul essence is more of often seems to be more of a Christian mystical tradition, sourced in Christian mystical tradition. And a soul is seen as something eternal, seen as a part of us that comes from God. What do you think is the soul? What do you think? Do you think you have one? And what do you think it is? Have you ever wondered if we could use 100% of our brain? I think we would collapse, and I don't think our brain is designed for that. But I think we can expand our functioning, but our brain needs a lot of energy. So if we were going to use 100% of our brain, we would need a lot more energy. We'd probably have to take sort of glucose drinks or something like that. So it's an interesting concept, but I think it's more about switching on the holistic elements of our brain so we can interdimensionally expand our consciousness. So I don't see the 100% as a realistic goal, because I feel like that would we would collapse. We would fry ourselves out. We would be overwhelmed. So most people are operating with nervous system overwhelm at the moment. They are overwhelmed. They're not managing the stress of the world. And there's an incredible amount of noise pollution, which people just don't talk about, don't think about, don't consider the effect of that on them. I had someone recently at work with a chainsaw. They were cleaning off tiles. Probably 2-3 hours they were cleaning off tiles in the middle of the town, no care in the world, just cleaning these tiles with the chainsaw. And that sound of a tile and the chainsaw, it's like, I can't give you that sound. It's a terrible sound. And it's a kind of thing, well, what is that? What are you doing that for? Firstly, you're trying to recycle the tile. It's, another story. So you want to take old tiles and recycle them. And, there's workshops, there's places where people wear ear protection. And the funny thing was, not the funny thing, this guy was wearing the ear protection, but what about everyone else? He was doing it in in the street, and then he moved down to the basement. And anyways, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked about this. Noise pollution affects us, and we need to really consider that. So for our brain harmony, that's one thing that really helps, is removing man-made, human-made sound. And even some women make a lot of noise, but it seems to be mostly man-made. When I see all the noise, it tends to be men. So maybe men are the problem with the noise, but not to be sexist at all. What do you think about sound and how we can manage sound, how we can organize it, what we can do to, I wouldn't say police, but rules around sound? Because I feel like most people live in a society where there's no rules at all, and that is too much. We need some constraints, we need restrictions, we need times when you can make, say an hour a day when you can use 12 to 1. I think that's always a good time in the middle of the day. That's kind of, all right, that's your opportunity to go out and make noise. That's an hour every day. That's all we need. 1 hour a day, make your noise, and then let's go back to silence. I also think the beautiful thing about some of the battery powered cars is that they're quiet, they're still, whereas the the petrol, the gas powered cars, the oil powered cars, they tend to be some of them are very noisy, and some people put in motorbikes and things like that. They put in things to make them more noisy. I forget what those things are, which is illegal, but people do it anyway. And police seem to go after certain things and not other things. So they don't go after sound ordinances. There's a lot of police tend to be overwhelmed. So how do we police ourselves, or how do we operate rules? What kind of infrastructure do we need to harmonize it? Is it just education? Is it just type of spiritual consciousness, or caring about other people generally, genuinely compassion, not just people, but bees, but animals, because this really affects the animals' nervous system, the sound. And I would love animals to have harmony too, not just human beings. Marianne says, I'll say it's seeing things by slowing down and just observing. I had a flash regarding a child. His future is not going to be a good one because mom and dad don't want to discipline him. We're talking about brain science here, neurology, and the ability to use more of our brain. It's certainly an interesting topic, and what the effect of that would be. Would we remember vividly every moment of our lives, and how would we navigate through that? So we're talking about being present, slowing down, observing, being mindful, bringing our presence to the world. And when we're sort of stuck in the past, stuck in every detail, that's going to be a problem. But I see this brain expansion as, like you do, Marianne, as being able to sense a lot more dimensions, to sense the 5D, to sense beyond the 5D, perhaps even interstellar dimensions, to have that cosmic ability with our brain to sense energies, to be psychically aware. We all of us are already psychically functional. We're just not always aware of it. To have those 6 senses in tune and switched on. Marianne says, some people break noise rules, like at 10 p.m. lower the volume. Yeah, I reckon more like 8 p.m., Marianne. I think 10 is too late. And America, you have a lot of these kind of issues with absolutely overwhelming light everywhere, and this idea that cities need to operate 24/7. Well, they don't. They really don't. Maybe a small part of the society can operate like that, but most people need darkness for their sleep hygiene, in order to sleep, and they need silence in order to sleep harmoniously. So, or at least quiet. So We need to start thinking about animals, bees, the whole world holistically, but also about human beings. All of that is connected, and our consciousness is mapped out. Often in the weather, we see our consciousness mapped out in the weather, the emotions, the turbulence, the dysfunction, the chaos. That's all created from the human mind. ADHD gives me pattern recognition. So that's a little bit of a superpower for you, Marianne. So amazing, the things that people put labels on are often incredible avenues for the brain to expand, to our consciousness to expand, for us to operate within more of a limitless sphere, and to expand how we view the world, how we think and see the world, how we operate in the world. All right, so I am available to pick cards for people, to read the energy, to discuss something on your mind. You're welcome to write in the comments anything on your mind. Tuning into the collective energy now. Just tuning into the collective. Beautiful. So we have an interesting card. It seems like quite a introspective kind of card, I would say. Quite introspective. So I feel like this card is encouraging humanity to slow down, to remember who we are. There's also a grounding kind of vibe. I feel like it's grounding as well as containing our energy, reminding us who we are. Interesting type of card. I don't know that I've seen this card many times. What do you feel when you see that card? If you saw it, maybe I'll put it up again. Put it up again for you. And it's interesting when I look at it, because I love the color blue, and I see so much blue in this card. And also there's a kind of indigo, even violet, kind of indigo violet. So quite different colors to my painting behind in the background. At some stage, we were each part of a soul pod or a soul cluster, talking about the soul once more. And we had a gathering of souls that were tuned into each other like a family. And that family was fragmented or broken up as we got embodied or incarnated into individuation, or the experience of being human as being a separate being, a separate person, very much in our humanity. Those who are part of your soul cluster are your true family, your true spiritual family, your soul family. And your star family are those souls who are really created with the same essence, with the same cosmic essence. Many times they've experienced lifetimes together, incarnated as human beings, or often as on other planets as humanoids, or perhaps even other species. And people have been incarnated as a soul, as a cloud consciousness, as a plant consciousness, even some have come over as rocks. And I really like this topic, as I read a few books, and I wonder what other books are available, because I ran out of reading material on this topic of what we've been incarnated as, and our experiences as soul pods, lifetimes together, soul contracts, soul mates, coming together in union and common incarnations. So it could be your father, your son, your sister, your mother, your even friends that come together, that anchor the frequency of light, that come and cross paths together, that co-create, that tune into each other, that help each other, that there's a soul resonance you may feel. You meet even a stranger, you may see it. Do I know this person? I feel like I know them. A soul recognition. To know that someone is part of your soul family when you feel like you know and remember them from the moment you meet them. So that is that knowing, that sense of knowing. You may feel a familiarity, a comfort, something you cannot quite put your finger on, a type of knowing. Maybe time passes quickly, or even time never ends when you're with them, or you want it to never end. You feel more yourself. Maybe you feel like you're looking in a mirror with this person. Do you have anyone in your life like that? Have you had that experience? Perhaps it turned romantic, perhaps not, because really there's a sense of, on the spiritual dimension, of people can dance in a type of romantic union as well as being embodied, which is very 3D, it's very physical. It's a little bit of a different, well, a very different experience of reality, but not completely different, because if you do have any physical union, there is an energetic intermingling that takes place, an energetic union, an energetic dance that takes place with your chakras, with your soul essence. There is a coming together, sometimes a sharing of light, sometimes that light culminates, vibrates, and expands within one's being, especially at the point of climax. That's really in a lot of traditions, like the Tantra tradition, at the highest point of spirituality one can reach in the human body, the highest point of godliness or divine that we can experience. So Marianne would like to know, what is the energy for the rest of next week? Will I be able to get a lot done? So just checking into the cards, and well, we have beautiful pink energy for you, Marianne, and that is very much sense of longing, I would say. Trying to get that a bit close, get that a little bit closer. Can you see that, Marianne? So I feel like you may feel a little bit spacey next week. There's your heartstrings are being pulled. They're being pulled. There's a longing for reunion with your cosmic ancestors, reunion with loved ones, with soul partners, with soulmates, with your cosmic origin. So you have lifetimes on other planets, and that's what this card indicates, that you recognize that at a soul level, and it's pulling you. But let's pick from the energy oracle cards and have another look into this pathway, into this week ahead for you, Marianne. Okay. And we get another confirmation here, Marianne. It's very much a doorway to spirit. So I feel the next week it's a really opening for you spiritually, and opening for you to connect spiritually. That doesn't mean you cannot get a lot done. Perhaps you can even explore that realm of bringing that living spiritual life, bringing that type of consciousness into practical realities. It's possible, but I feel like a bit of a spacey energy for you, Marianne, is probably the most realistic, and that's where the the invitation is beckoning you. It's a doorway. It's doorway into the spirit realm. Marianne says it was romantic in two lives and a good buddy in another. There you go. Thank you for sharing, Marianne. So would anyone else like any kind of energy oracle, any kind of oracle reading, card reading? You know, I've lost some of my decks. I'm just thinking, what happened to that beautiful deck I had? It probably has been rehomed. Probably has been rehomed. No idea what happened to that deck. So anyways, I'm going to pick from the Buddhism Oracle deck. And let's have a look. So this card is reminding us about gratitude. We always tend to, it's something we tend to forget as human beings. It is so easy to forget about being grateful, about turning our life around, trying thankfulness, and being grateful for the little things. Gratitude is a powerful energy of kindness. When you express it outwardly by giving thanks for the richness brought to you by other people, their services and contribution, your gratitude builds a feeling of kinship that breaks down all the illusions of separation. We all have this illusion of separation. It's kind of inculcated into us as babies, as infants. This, once we start to separate, individuate, toddlers, children, I would say 7 years old seems to be a big breaking point where people get sent off to school and the indoctrination begins, the brainwashing, the separation. But we're born from union. We're born within the womb. That's when we're seated within the womb, which is not separate. It's connected. It's warm. It's always connected 24/7. And then we come into life, which is often people are born in these bright lights for some reason. The way human beings thought, let's design something that's totally artificial and make this the first glimpse into our world, the most artificial light imaginable, the brightest light imaginable, the most artificial environment, natural. Let's remove all clean air, let's remove all windows, and let's make a hospital. So ideally, don't get born in hospitals, but most of us are born in hospitals. And that is really confronting for anyone to be in that environment. It's not designed for human harmony at all. Lay you odds, you find some of the cards in the kids' room. Well, I'm gonna come back later and do some meditation and wish you all a beautiful day. I'll come back maybe half an hour. So see you all again soon.